Good morning. It is February 16th, 2012. My name is Josh Fox. I'm with the Orange County Library, and I am interviewing Pastor Charles Holliday today at the Washington Park branch for Orlando Memory. We're capturing the memories of the community. So if you could please introduce yourself for the camera.
My name is Pastor Charles Holliday.
All right. Thank you very much, Pastor. All right. So we'll start off with some easy ones. How long have you lived in Orlando, Pastor Holliday?
On and off, I've lived in Orlando about 30 years, about 10 years growing up, and then I went off to school and came back and been here for about another 20 years.
Okay, great. Okay. So you grew up in Orlando.
Yes.
And how much has it changed since you've grown up here?
Quite a bit. I remember Orlando not necessarily being a small town, but not being what you would consider a mega city. But now compared more to an Atlanta or Los Angeles, it's really grown.
Okay. What's the biggest change you've seen besides the growth?
Don't know if I can put my hand on the biggest change I've seen. I guess, it's just more people. Orlando seems to be becoming a mega city and just growing, and more people, more changes, more jobs, more issues.
Okay. Okay. We're in the Washington Shores community area. Do you live in this area?
Actually, I live in the Tangelo Park area. I lived in Tangelo Park, moved over more to the Ocoee area. Now I'm back in Tangelo Park.
Okay. So what are your earliest memories of this area of Orlando? I mean, have you seen some positive changes in this area? Has it changed since you were much younger? I mean, some specific things?
Yeah, the area that I grew up in, Tangelo Park, in the beginning it was high crime and a lot of drug deals going on. Of course, there was an organization by the name of Orlando Fights Back that came into the community, provided a lot of resources, a lot of services, kind of cleaned up the community. Now that I'm living in Tangelo Park, it's much quieter. There's not as much activity going on. So there's a lot of, Harris Rosen has done some things to help students in that area to go to college for free, and hopefully that investment is going to come back in terms of those kids coming back and making that community a better place to live.
Okay, that's great. So, can you tell us a little bit about what it is you do for a living?
Well, I started out as a teacher at St. James Cathedral School. I was actually the first African-American teacher and coach to teach there. From there, I went to the YMCA, Central Florida YMCA. I was the executive director at the Tangelo Park branch. And we made quite a bit of changes through the YMCA that I think are having a positive impact on the community now. We built a swimming pool, built the gymnasium, and now the families and children in that community have a place to go where they can get off of the streets. And hopefully that's helping with the issues of crime and drug deals and so forth and so on.
What sport did you coach?
Basketball primarily, but I've also coached a little soccer, coached a little football, but primarily basketball.
Okay. What would you say is the happiest moment of your life?
Wow. That's hard. Number one, I would say the day that I gave my life to Christ, I would have to put that up there as one of the top. Second to that, I would have to say the day that I married my wife. Third would probably be the day that we actually completed the gymnasium, because it was a real tough project from the standpoint of, in Tangelo Park not having the financial resources. So the day that we actually completed that project and you saw the gym go up and the children come in and begin to play, that was a very rewarding moment.
It was. Sounds really neat. So you said you went away. Where did you go away to school?
Actually, I moved to Georgia, spent my high school years at Coffee County High, and then came back here to go to Seminole Community College, went to UCF from there, and then started working at St. James, went to the YMCA, and retired from the YMCA May 22nd of 2003, and that's when I began to help start a church in the Pine Hills community, Rising Sun Baptist Church. And after 2.5 years, I started my own church.
Okay. That's great. Okay, what would you say is your best memory of your childhood growing up in Orlando?
Best memory of my childhood. I would have to say that there's probably not a lot of good memories. My childhood was not the brightest. My mother actually was an alcoholic, died at an early age, so that's a part of my childhood memory. But I would say that I've taken all of those adversities and they made me a stronger person. That I guess an adversity can make you weak or it can make you strong, but all of those adversities have made me a stronger person. My aunt that took care of me, her name is Nora Carr. She's 96 years old, still living today. And I would like to honor her because I really believe that God placed her in my life. Had it not been for her, I don't know where I would be. So that probably is my fondest memory growing up with my aunt.
Okay. So, what would you say is what are the most important lessons you've learned in life?
Number one, to trust God. Put Him first in everything. Seek His advice on issues. You can't go wrong there. I've also learned that in life, things are going to happen. You're going to have adversity. You're going to have problems. There's going to be issues. And you just can't be, I guess, oversensitive and emotionally. You have to learn how to deal with the issues of life. You can't run from them. You have to face them and tackle them. And again, by putting God first and having the confidence to tackle problems, then you don't get so stressed out and anxiety and go into depression and those type of things.
So would you say that your aunt is one of the most important people in your life?
Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. And my her husband, my uncle, his name was Willie Carr. They were what I call substitute parents, for lack of a better word. And the other thing that I've learned in life is I don't think you can make it by yourself. You have to have, in the cases like myself where my mom wasn't there, my father wasn't there, there has to be either other adults or family members that step in and take the place of a parent, or what I call real model. And I have to give my wife credit for that. She came up with that term versus role model, real models. And those are individuals that take interest in your life, that pour into your life, that love you and take care of you just like they were your parents themselves.
How would you like to be remembered? What would you like to be remembered for?
I would like to be remembered as a person that just had an impact by using his gift. My gift in life is teaching. And I try to take advantage of every teachable moment to teach lessons as often as I can. So I would like to be remembered as one that made a difference by teaching the principles of God and the principles of life.
Okay. Currently, you said you started your own church.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little more about that?
Currently, I pastor the Lighthouse Church of Worship. We started that in 2005. Really hadn't had a lot of success in terms of growth, but we've had a lot of impact. We've helped people to be able to pay mortgages, light bills. We've fed people. We've helped children at Christmas time that wouldn't have had toys. Now we're in the process of rebirthing that church. Matter of fact, we're working on that right now. We're in the planning stages, and we're going to rebirth it on April the 8th of this year. It has been, even though it hasn't grown a lot, but it's been a great joy in terms of just watching people learn and grow and their lives change and they become better people.
Okay. Great. Well, is that, you said you always wanted to be a teacher? Do you have early memories of when you wanted to be a teacher?
It's real odd. I guess they say that between, your younger years in high school, you change your mind at least a half a dozen times. I remember in the 3rd and 4th grade, knowing that I wanted to be a teacher, being inspired by my teachers and saying, this is what I want to do, and never changed my mind. Pursued it from that point all the way. Got a degree from UCF in education. Actually, when I was offered the job at the YMCA, almost turned it down because I wanted to teach. and I saw that as an executive position, sitting in the office. That wasn't what I wanted, but I ended up doing more teaching in the YMCA and more teaching in church now than I've ever done actually as a classroom teacher. So life is a classroom.